Millionaire came home without notice and froze at what the maid was doing with his father. When Millionaire Jack Miller walked into his mansion at 2 a.m., he never expected to find his wheelchair-bound father being helped by their maid in ways that would shatter everything he thought he knew about trust. But here's what will blow your mind. What Jack saw wasn't what he thought it was. And by the time you reach the end of the story, you'll understand why sometimes the people we judge are actually the heroes we never knew we needed. Before we dive in, drop your city in the comments. We'd love to know where you're watching from. And don't forget to like and subscribe, so you never miss another powerful story like this. Now let's continue. Jack Miller owned half the city. His tech company made millions every month. At 35, he had everything money could buy, except time with his family. That cold Tuesday night, Jack was supposed to be in Chicago for 3 more days. Big merger talks. The kind that would make him even richer. But the deal fell through faster than expected. "Book me the next flight home," Jack told his assistant, Maria. "Sir, it's already 11 p.m. Maybe tomorrow morning." "No, tonight. I want to surprise Dad." Jack's father, Robert, was 67 and had been in a wheelchair for 2 years after a bad fall. Since Jack's mother died, Robert lived in Jack's downtown mansion. Their young maid, Emma, 26, helped take care of him during the day. At least, that's what Jack paid her for. The private jet landed at midnight. Jack's driver was surprised to see him. "Home, Mr. Miller?" "Yeah, Tom. And drive slow. I want to think." Jack stared out at the city lights. Tall buildings. Busy streets even at night. His father always said this city never slept. Maybe that's why Jack never slept either. The mansion sat on the hill overlooking downtown. 12 rooms. 3 floors. Way too big for 2 people. But Jack liked showing off his success. The house was mostly dark when they arrived. Just a few lights on the first floor. "Thanks, Tom. See you tomorrow." Jack used his key quietly. The marble entrance was cold and clean. Emma always kept everything perfect. She was the best maid Jack ever hired. Never missed a day. Always smiled. His father seemed happier since she started working there. Jack loosened his tie and headed for the stairs. But then he heard voices from the living room. Soft voices. A man and woman talking. Jack frowned. It was 2 a.m. Why was Emma still here? She usually left at 6 p.m. He walked toward the sound. The living room door was cracked open. Warm light spilled out. "Please don't cry, Mr. Robert." Emma's voice was gentle. "Everything will be okay." Jack's father was crying. Jack stepped closer, staying in the shadows. "I just feel so useless." Robert's voice was broken. "My son works so hard, and I can't even go to the bathroom by myself anymore." Jack's heart squeezed. He had no idea his dad felt this way. "That's not true," Emma said firmly. "You're not useless. You're just different now. And that's okay." Jack peeked through the crack in the door. What he saw made his breath catch. His father was sitting on the edge of the big white couch. His wheelchair was nearby. Emma was kneeling beside him, helping him with something. But it wasn't what Jack first thought. Emma was gently washing Robert's feet with warm water from a small basin. His father's pants legs were rolled up. There were tears in the old man's eyes. "I'm sorry you have to do this," Robert whispered. It's not right. You shouldn't have to." "Sure," Emma said softly. "There's nothing wrong with needing help. We all need help sometimes." Jack watched frozen. Emma carefully dried each of Robert's feet with a soft white towel. Her movements were so gentle, so caring. "Your son loves you very much," Emma said. "He talks about you all the time when he calls to check on you." "He calls?" Robert looked surprised. "Every day. Sometimes twice. He always asks if you're happy, if you need anything. He worries about you constantly." Jack's throat felt tight. It was true. He did call every day. But he never told his father how much he worried. Emma helped Robert put his socks back on. Then she stood and moved the basin away. "There. Feel better?" Robert nodded, wiping his eyes. "Emma, I need to tell you something." Emma sat down next to him on the couch. "What is it?" Robert's voice got very quiet. "Jack doesn't know this, but the doctors said I might not have much time left. Jack's world stopped. What? The cancer came back, Robert continued. Worse this time. I made them promise not to tell Jack. He has so much stress already. Emma's hand covered her mouth. Oh no. Mr. Robert, you have to tell him. I can't. He'll drop everything to take care of me. His business, his dreams. I won't let my sickness destroy his future. Jack felt like he couldn't breathe. Cancer. His father was dying, and he didn't even know. But he deserves to know, Emma said, tears in her voice. Promise me you won't tell him. Robert grabbed Emma's hand. Promise me. Let me handle this my way. Emma was quiet for a long time. Finally, she nodded. I promise. But Mr. Robert, you're not alone in this. I'll help you through it. Why? Robert asked. Why do you care so much? You're just the maid. Emma smiled sadly. Mr. Robert, my grandmother died alone in a nursing home. No family. No friends. Just strangers taking care of her for money. I promised myself I'd never let that happen to anyone else if I could help it. Jack watched his father break down crying again. But this time, Emma pulled the old man into a gentle hug. You're not alone, she whispered. I'm here. Jack is here, even when he's traveling. You have people who love you. I'm scared, Robert admitted. I know. It's okay to be scared. Jack backed away from the door, his heart pounding. He walked quietly to the kitchen and sat down at the big marble counter. His father was dying. Emma wasn't just a maid. She was an angel taking care of the most important person in Jack's world. And Jack had been too busy making money to see any of it. Jack put his head in his hands. All those late nights at the office. All those business trips. All those times he chose work over spending time with his dad. How much time did they have left? Jack heard footsteps. Emma was helping his father back to his bedroom. Their voices got quieter as they moved upstairs. Do you need anything else tonight? Emma asked. No, dear. Thank you. For everything. I'll see you tomorrow, Mr. Robert. Emma, you're like the daughter I never had. Jack heard Emma start crying. And you're like the grandfather I lost. Sleep well. Jack waited until he heard Emma coming back downstairs. He quickly moved to hide behind the kitchen island. Emma walked through the kitchen toward the back door. She moved quietly, trying not to wake anyone. Her bag was slung over her shoulder, and there were still tears on her face. Jack watched her leave through the kitchen window. Emma walked to an old car parked outside. Not a fancy car. A small, dated thing that probably broke down a lot. Jack looked at his own car in the driveway. A black luxury car worth more than Emma probably made in 2 years. And here she was, staying late to take care of his father. Not for extra money. Not because Jack asked her to. Just because she cared. Jack went upstairs and stood outside his father's bedroom. The door was slightly open. He could hear Robert inside, moving around slowly. Jack wanted to go in. Wanted to hug his dad and tell him everything would be okay. Wanted to cry with him. But if he did that, Robert would know Jack had been listening. Would know his secret was out. So Jack went to his own room instead. But he didn't sleep. He sat by his window, looking out at the city lights, thinking about time. How much time did they really have left? And thinking about Emma. This young woman who cared for his father like family. Who kept his secrets. Who showed more love in one night than Jack had shown in months. Tomorrow, everything was going to change. But Jack had no idea just how much. The next morning, Jack woke up at 5 a.m. He hadn't slept at all. His mind kept replaying what he saw. Emma caring for his dying father, while Jack was off making more money he didn't need. Jack got dressed and went downstairs. Coffee. He needed coffee. But when he walked into the kitchen, he found Emma already there. She was making breakfast, eggs, toast, fresh orange juice. She looked tired, like she hadn't slept much either. Emma looked up and nearly dropped the pan. Mr. Jack, you're home early. Her face went pale. I was just your father needs. It's okay, Emma. Jack's voice was gentle. I know about the cancer. Emma's eyes filled with tears. You hurt us last night. Jack nodded. I'm not angry. I need to thank you. Thank me. Jack sat down at the kitchen counter. Emma, what you're doing for my father. It's not just a job, is it? Emma set down the pan and wiped her eyes. No, sir. It's not. Tell me the truth. All of it. Emma took a deep breath. My real name is Emma Chin. I'm not just a maid. I'm a nurse. I graduated from nursing school 3 years ago. Jack stared at her. A nurse? Why didn't you tell us? Because. Emma sat down across from him. Because when I applied for this job, I knew your father was sick. I could see it in his medical files that were left on the counter during my interview. The early stages of cancer. You knew he was sick before we hired you. Emma nodded. I lost my job at the hospital because I spent too much time with patients. The hospital said I was too emotional, too attached. But Mr. Jack, how can you care for someone without caring about them? Jack felt his heart breaking. This woman had given up her nursing career to take care of his father. So you came here pretending to be just a maid? I needed the job. And your father needed someone who actually understood medical care. Someone who could watch for signs. Help him with dignity. Emma's voice cracked. I've been secretly giving him his medications. Helping him with physical therapy. Making sure he eats the right foods for his condition. And when the cancer got worse. You kept it secret because he asked you to. I wanted to tell you so many times. But he made me promise. He said he wanted you to remember him strong, not sick. Jack put his head in his hands. Emma, I had no idea. There's more, Emma whispered. Jack looked up. I've been using my own money to buy his medications. The expensive ones insurance doesn't cover. That's why I drive that old car. Why I wear the same clothes every day. Jack felt like someone punched him in the stomach. This woman had been spending her own money. Money she didn't have. To keep his father alive. How much? Jack asked. It doesn't matter. How much, Emma? Emma was quiet for a long time. About $800 a month. Sometimes more. Jack did quick math in his head. Emma made $2,000 a month working for him. She was spending almost half her salary on his father's medicine. Emma, why didn't you tell me? Because you pay me to clean and cook, not to be a nurse. I didn't want you to think I was trying to get more money out of you. Jack stood up and walked to the window. Outside, the city was waking up. People rushing to work, just like he did every day. But while he was making millions, Emma was giving everything she had to keep his father alive. Emma, I need to ask you something, and I want the complete truth. Okay. Jack turned to face her. How long does he have? Emma's face crumpled. The doctor said, maybe 6 months. Maybe less. 6 months. Jack had 6 months left with his father, and he'd almost missed it chasing money. Mr. Jack, Emma's voice was small. Are you going to fire me? For lying about being a nurse? Jack walked over and sat down next to Emma. Fire you? Emma, I'm going to do something else entirely. Emma looked confused. First, I'm giving you a raise. To $5,000 a month. Mr. Jack, you don't have to. Second, I'm paying you back every penny you spent on Dad's medicine. With interest. Really, sir, that's not necessary. Third, Jack's voice got firm. I'm taking a leave from work. Emma's eyes went wide. What? I'm going to spend the next 6 months with my father. Every day. Every moment I can. But your company. My company will be fine without me for 6 months. My father won't be fine without me. Emma started crying again. Mr. Jack, he's going to be so happy. And Emma, from now on, you're not the maid. You're Dad's private nurse. Full medical authority. Whatever he needs, you provide it. I don't know what to say. Jack smiled for the first time in hours. Say you'll help me take care of him. Just then, they heard Robert's voice from upstairs. Emma, are you here? Emma stood up quickly. I should go help him get ready for the day. Wait. Jack grabbed her arm gently. Let me come with you. He doesn't know you're home yet. Then it'll be a surprise. They walked upstairs together. Jack knocked softly on his father's door. "Dad, it's Jack." Silence. Then Jack, "Son, what are you doing home?" Jack opened the door. His father was sitting on the edge of his bed in his pajamas. He looked smaller than Jack remembered. Thinner. Older. But his eyes lit up when he saw Jack. "My boy." Robert held out his arms. Jack rushed over and hugged his father tight. Really tight. Like he should have been doing all along. "I missed you, Dad." "I missed you too. But why aren't you in Chicago?" Jack pulled back and looked his father in the eyes. "Dad, we need to talk." Robert's face went pale. He looked at Emma, who was standing in the doorway. "It's okay, Mr. Robert," Emma said softly. "He knows." Robert closed his eyes. "You told him?" "No, Dad. I heard you two talking last night. Emma kept your secret, just like she promised." Robert started crying. "Jack, I'm sorry. I didn't want you to know. I didn't want to be a burden." "A burden?" Jack sat down next to his father. "Dad, you're not a burden. You're the most important person in my life. But your work, your company, will survive without me for a while. Dad, I'm taking time off. I want to spend it with you." Robert shook his head. "You can't do that. Your future. My future doesn't mean anything without you in it." Father and son cried together. Emma watched from the doorway, tears streaming down her face. "Emma," Robert called to her. "Come here." Emma walked over. "Jack, this woman is an angel," Robert said. "She's been taking care of me like I was her own father." Jack looked at Emma. "I know, Dad, and I'm going to make sure she's properly taken care of, too." "What do you mean?" Jack smiled. "Emma's not just our maid anymore. She's your private nurse, and she's getting the respect and pay she deserves." Robert looked shocked. "You're a nurse?" Emma blushed. "Yes, Mr. Robert. I'm sorry I didn't tell you." "Sorry? Dear, you've been keeping me alive." Over the next few days, Jack learned just how much Emma had been doing. She'd been tracking his father's symptoms, adjusting his diet, making sure he took medications at the right times, even doing small physical therapy exercises with him. She'd been a daughter, a nurse, and a friend all rolled into one. A week later, Jack made another decision. "Emma, I want to offer you something else." "What's that?" "I want to pay for you to go back to school. Get your advanced nursing degree. Oncology specialty." Emma stared at him. "Mr. Jack, I can't accept that." "Why not?" "Because it's too much." Jack shook his head. "Emma, you gave up your career to take care of my father. You spent your own money to keep him alive. You showed him more love than his own son did." "That's not true." "It is true. And when Dad—" Jack's voice caught. "When Dad is gone, I want you to be able to help other families. Other people who need someone who cares as much as you do." Emma was crying again. "You really mean it?" "I mean it. Full scholarship. Whatever school you want." That night, the three of them sat on the big porch overlooking the city. Robert was in his wheelchair, wrapped in a warm blanket. Emma had made hot chocolate for everyone. "You know what's funny?" Robert said. "What, Dad?" "I was so worried about you working too much. But I never realized that the person I should be worried about was working too little." Jack looked confused. "What do you mean?" Robert smiled at Emma. "This young lady works 2 jobs, takes care of me all day, then goes home and takes care of her sick mother at night." Jack's jaw dropped. "Emma, you have another job?" Emma blushed. "It's not really a job. I help take care of my mom. She has dementia. So you take care of 2 sick people every day. It's not a big deal." "It's a huge deal." Jack stood up. "Emma, why didn't you tell me?" "Because you already do so much for me." Jack shook his head. "No, Emma. You do everything for us. And from now on, we're going to do things differently." Jack made more calls that week. He hired a professional caregiver for Emma's mother, paid for the best dementia care available, made sure Emma's mom had everything she needed, because that's what family does for family. And Emma had become family. The months that followed were the best of Jack's life. He and his father talked every day, They watched old movies together, looked at photo albums, shared stories. Emma was there through all of it. Patient, caring, strong when they needed her to be strong, gentle when they needed gentleness. When Robert passed away peacefully 6 months later, he was surrounded by the two people who loved him most. At the funeral, Emma spoke about Robert like he was her own grandfather, because in every way that mattered he was. After the funeral, Jack found Emma sitting alone in the mansion's garden. "How are you holding up?" he asked. "I miss him already," Emma said. "Me too." Jack sat down next to her. "Emma, I have something to ask you." "What is it?" "I've decided to start a foundation for families dealing with cancer. Free nursing care, medications, support." Emma looked at him. "I want you to run it, Mr. Jack. And I want you to know that you'll always have a home here. You're not just an employee, Emma. You're family." Emma started crying. "Mr. Jack, I don't know how to thank you." "You don't need to thank me. You showed me what really matters. You taught me that money means nothing if you don't have people to share your life with." Jack looked up at the mansion. "This big house felt empty before you came. Now it feels like home." "It's home," Emma said. "It's our home." 2 years later, the Robert Miller Foundation had helped over 500 families. Emma had finished her advanced nursing degree and was known as one of the best oncology nurses in the city. And Jack still ran his company. But now he worked 8 hours a day instead of 16, because he learned that success isn't about how much money you make. Success is about the people who cry at your funeral because they truly loved you. Emma never went back to being just a maid. She became something much more important. She became the person who taught a millionaire how to be rich in the ways that actually matter. Sometimes the people we overlook are the heroes we need most. Sometimes the help we think we're giving is nothing compared to the help we're actually receiving. And sometimes it takes losing everything to realize what we actually had all along. What did you think? Tell us in the comments below. Did you guess Emma was a nurse before the big reveal? Which moment hit you the hardest emotionally? Have you ever had someone show up for your family when you couldn't? What would you have done in Jack's situation? Your stories matter to us. Share your own experiences with unexpected heroes in the comments. Don't miss more stories like this. If this story moved you, subscribe to our channel for more emotional, life-changing stories every week. Hit that notification bell so you never miss heartwarming family stories.